We need an open category at NBA All-Star Weekend. These guys against your guys.
Oh! All right, see, Ohio high school football. River Valley High School. Trey Davis with a spinning one-handed grab and scores a touchdown.
I see you, River Valley. Might have stepped out of bounds there. Might have stepped out of bounds there, Trey.
That's all right.
I see you, River Valley. Look at him. He's showing him one hand. Look at him. Oh, yeah, you see it. Believe it.
All right, finally, Winter High School's Jeremy Layton catches the underthrown pass with one hand.
Oh, that's a good little reach back. Now, that's the hardest one. Besides over the shoulder, the Willie Mays catch, the one where you're running full speed and you have to come back to try to catch it.
I mean, you rarely see the one-handed in that direction, right? Like the underthrown one-handed. Heck of a play.
All right, moving on to a big reason the Cleveland Browns will be must-watch football this season. Baker Mayfield, the first overall pick, will lead the Browns into Oakland this weekend, fresh off leading the Browns to its first win since the 2016 season. Teammate Jarvis Landry said Mayfield has wowed him early. Take a listen.
I just kind of kept running, and then before you know it, the ball was up. And, you know, he throws the ball with so much zing, and, you know, it got to me so quickly. I got to come on the jump machine up to like 8 or 9. Now, since Baker throw that ball so hard, he put one for me in the game, and I dropped it because I didn't even know how to put my hands. And before I could make the decision, you know, the ball was on me, you know. So I just realized it's a little bit of a different ball with, you know, a lot more velocity. So, you know, I definitely got to get on the jugs for that and just catch as many balls from Baker as possible.
See, does a fast, hard zinger throw like that make a good quarterback, or is that just his velocity? Or what is your reaction to what Jarvis Landry said?
Your adjectives. the zinger throw. It's perfect. I trade it.
Okay.
This is the thing. In football now, so much has to do with the quarterback and his accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay, accuracy is one thing, velocity is the other. Baker Mayfield, he's one of the rare quarterbacks that we've seen come in college football that has both. Nick talks about it all the time. We shouldn't be even surprised that Baker Mayfield is going to be accurate in the NFL. In college football, he was the best ever.
He was set the efficiency mark in back-to-back years, the all-time mark. So we knew he could do that. We knew he could see guys and have pinpoint accuracy.
What we get consumed with as people that look at quarterbacks, we get into the prototypes. How big is the guy? Like Josh Allen. There's a reason why people rave about him, because people love the prototypes. 6'4", 6'5", 220 pounds, people love him. So people like Baker Mayfield, people like Drew Brees and Russell Wilson, all these guys, not prototypical height, but all of them throw with great velocity. They have learned at a very, very young age to be able to throw the ball with their whole body. Watching Drew Brees break the completion record there in Atlanta this weekend, there's a reason for that, because he throws with a lot of velocity. Baker can do the same thing. The football, when it has a lot of velocity, it's able to, you can actually see the point of it, because a guy, if he throws with a lot of velocity, he's going to have a tighter spiral. So what Jarvis is talking about is, I need to be able to get my hands and my eyes used to that different velocity. It's no different than a pitcher. If you were at batting practice, they throw at a certain speed so guys can get their swing locked in. But in the game, you know the velocity is going to increase. So, yes, the jugs machine, I've worked with them. It's the best training tool to be able to train people to get their eyes ready for the football. And if a guy throws a wobbly ball with a jugs machine, you can put it in there a little bit sideways and the ball comes out wobbly. So instead of having a guy throw to you after practice 40, 50, 60, 100 balls, and you get his arm wore out, you get his legs worn out from dropping back, you get a jugs machine to be able to shoot them to you. So Jarvis is on to, yes, that's the way you have to train your eye when you have a guy who has a big-time arm like Baker. And you can see in the game, the ball went past his eyes and hit his body. Now, he's got great hands, but his eyes have not adjusted to having the new quarterback. So that's one thing that wide receivers, their eyes have to adjust to that point, and the ball getting on them a lot quicker.
On that play, you could clearly tell he was used to catching a ball from Jarvis Landry, from Tyrod Taylor, where he can wait for it, get it, and go. That ball got up on him too quick. It was a perfectly placed ball. I have a question about the jugs machine, actually, because when people that haven't used it, when he said I've got to up it to 8 or 9, what would the speed be for a typical average quarterback that you'd want to practice on?
Yeah, I don't think the speed is important because it can get very, very dangerous. You can get them up to close to 100 miles an hour. But when we've been working on them for a long time, typically you start off around 45, 50 miles an hour. In college, around 65. NFL, 75 to 90. That's what we're typically going to have it gauged at. One thing, too, is you have to be careful of the distance, because even if you have it on a certain miles per hour, the closer you get to the judge machine, and that's what Jarvis eventually, he'll be able to do that.
But so my question is, or my observation, I should say, is there are a lot of guys that have really strong arms. But what we've talked about with Josh Allen, even if he has the strongest arm, is that what we saw from him in the preseason, what we saw from him in college it was fastball every time. It was the inability to vary speeds. I don't see that as a problem for Baker Mayfield. I know in the pros the sample size is tiny, but in college football, I didn't see him throwing a fastball every time. When he needed to be able to put touch on a pass, he absolutely could, but he still had the requisite arm strength to be able to rear back and fire it in there when he needed to.
Yeah, he has great arm. He has a great arm. No one is going to have the arm of a Josh Allen. Those are very, very rare. Him, Cutler, Brett Favre, and everything. But out of all those quarterbacks, only a few of them ever learned to be a pitcher of the football compared to a thrower of the football. The other thing with Baker, the reason why his ball gets on you is not just the velocity. It is how quick can a quarterback, from the time they clutch to the time they recognize where they want to go, how quick can they get that motion up and over? Josh Allen, he takes his hand off, the ball goes down, it goes back. So it negates some of the speed that he has. So he has to rush it to be able to get there. Baker has a quick over-the-top motion, a lot like Drew Brees, a lot like Russell Wilson, and that's what we should get used to seeing. Like, he's got one of the good accuracy arm. That's what you want. Like, if I could have one or the other, give me accuracy.
And what you were describing with Josh Allen, that's not the exact same, but that's one of the issues Cam has, right? That sometimes Cam he will take too long to get it there.
Cam's biggest problem is his feet. He's never real disciplined with his feet. And spending time with Drew Brees this weekend, that's what Drew told me. If you want, Chris, younger quarterbacks can get more accurate, but they keep working on their arm. They keep working on other things. It's all about their footwork. When you see Cam leaning back, you see his footwork being poor. Drew Brees says the footwork is the #1 thing to being an accurate quarterback.
So zing is good.
Zing is good.
Okay.
Zingers especially.
Zingers?
Yeah.
Is it not zingers?
Your zingers are your attempted zingers are your jokes that don't always go over well. Zing or zip would maybe be.
So my zinger was the zing.
Exactly right. Well done, Jenna Wolf. National treasure.
Time now for Nick's Fantasy Update, sponsored by game. Give us one stud and then give us one value pick.
All right, from tonight's game, the stud to me is an easy pick. How about Todd Gurley? I know that last year he had his worst game of the year against the Los Angeles Rams. I don't think he's going to duplicate that performance. He's $8,600, but he's the best back in all of the NFL. I like Todd Gurley tonight if you want to spend a bunch of your DraftKings money on the Thursday night game.
All right, what about a value pick?
Stephon Diggs. He's only $6,100 DraftKings dollars. We know that Los Angeles is going to be on their 3rd, 4th, 5th corners. At some point, they're going to have a guy that's usually a 5th-string corner matched up on Stephon Diggs, who has some of the best hands in the NFL. I like Stephon Diggs for only $6,100 on DraftKings.
Watch Adam Thielen, too. He's at 300-yard games, 3 for 3.
All right, Thursday Night Football on Fox premieres tonight, and DraftKings is kicking it off with a $150,000 contest. You can play free, but you have to play tonight for the Vikings-Rams game. Just draft 6 players from tonight's game in the Thursday Play Action contest. Sign up using promo code FS1. Want to learn how to play for free? We've got you covered.
Football is back, and DraftKings is kicking off Thursday night with a $150,000 contest for Minnesota versus LA. Sign up and make your first deposit, and you can play free. Download the DraftKings app and use promo code FS1.